When you get there, is the horse already saddled? If the horse is already saddled, my suggestion would be to take the saddle off of him. See how easy it is to put the saddle back on. Hey, it's Jerry, welcome back to Schmuckle Farm. I'm getting ready to work with Nugget. We're doing some training on him, and I thought this is a pretty good topic to talk about today. Because if you're in the market to buy a horse, especially if you've never owned a horse before, understand that there are people out there selling these horses that will absolutely lie to you about everything. Whether or not the horse has been injured, how far along the horse is with training is a particular issue. If the horse is unrideable, because some of these people will absolutely drug a horse to make it calm enough that you can sit on it. But where we're at with Nugget is mostly doing groundwork. I have been doing some riding on him, but whenever his owner bought him, she was told that he was trained. And when he got here, which was sometime after she bought him, she asked me about it. So I put a saddle on him. And the first time I got on him, I really thought he wanted to buck, but he absolutely was confused. He had no idea what I was trying to get him to do. He did not neck rein. He did not straight rein. He had no idea what moving away from pressure meant. And that's usually first evidence when you get onto a horse, when you get on their back and you start applying pressure for them to move. They don't know what to do. They'll just start walking backwards very slowly because they don't understand what you're trying to get them to do. And so that's when we learned the command to back up. So I went for a ride on him the other day. I'm not going to ride him today. Mostly I do groundwork with him because control is the biggest thing you have to have with a horse. Now I can get on Nugget and we can ride outside of the round pen, because I'm confident enough in my ability to control him that I don't mind putting a saddle on him, hopping on, and we learn out here in the pasture. What you need to know before you ever get started as far as looking for a horse is there's a few things that you need to look for. Number one, when you get there, is a horse already saddled? If the horse is already saddled, my suggestion would be to take the saddle off of him. See how easy it is to put the saddle back on. First thing I do, look at the bottom lip. If the bottom lip is hanging down, that horse is probably on drugs. Let's go. Come on. Come on. But see how I have to make him go? He cuts the circle a little bit because I'm not holding the other lead rope in my hand, twirling it. Usually that's what I will do with him, is twirl the lead rope to keep him going. And as soon as I stop, whoa. What I want him to do is turn into me. See, he's listening. It's a good horse. I can make him pick up the pace if I want to. But really, this is about making sure that Nugget is paying attention to what I'm telling him to do. And we're going to do this for probably another 10 minutes. Back and forth, nice and easy. Just me giving commands and Nugget obeying. And that wraps that up. He's done everything that I've asked him to do. Like I said, not a bad-natured horse, but he knew absolutely nothing when we got here. You see these horses at auctions and you get to watch videos of them, and people are paying tens of thousands of dollars for a horse that they've never stepped up on. Unless you're buying a bloodline for breeding stock, that's a mistake. Don't go to an auction and pay $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. I saw one horse go for $60,000. The only person that got on it was a guy demonstrating it at the time of the auction. You don't know what that horse has had in his system. You could be buying a train wreck. You could get him to your farm 2 days later, put a saddle on him, and he turns into the Copenhagen Bucking Horse of the Year. So don't do that. If you're not confident in yourself as a judge of horse flesh, if you don't really know what you're doing, Do not go to an auction and buy a horse. It's a bad mistake. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a horse that you can't handle. Now, that's not to say don't buy a horse off the internet. Most horses you find today are going to be somewhere online. You may have to travel a piece to see them. But ask for video up front. Tell them what you want in the video. Have a vet from that area check the horse out. It's well worth your money to have a vet look at the horse's feet and to draw blood and make sure the horse doesn't have any issues. Ask for a negative Coggins test. Ask for the vaccine record. Know that the horse that you're getting has been cared for. Make sure it doesn't have navicular or ring bone or something else wrong with its feet. I had a buddy that really got hosed by someone else I knew who sold him a horse that had navicular. It can't be cured. The horse will be lame at some point in time. Somebody thinks that he should get a treat simply for running around in circles. But that's not how this show works. If at all possible, when you go look at a horse, be the one to catch it. If someone wanted to buy a horse that I have, which it's rare that I would have one for sale that wouldn't already have a buyer waiting, then I'm going to let you roll up here to the barn. We'll get a halter. We'll call the horse to the gate because my horses come in when they're called. Put the halter on, put the saddle on, check the horse out. Have a vet come out. I don't really care. That's what an honest person selling a horse will do for you. If a person doesn't want you to do any one of those things, then forget about it. There's a problem. All right, so that's going to wrap it up. If you're going to be looking at a horse that you haven't had any prior knowledge of, it's not a horse that a friend owns, or it's not in a group that you belong to, or you've seen the horse on multiple occasions, then be aware that there are a lot of things that you need to check off before you know that horse is safe. And if you're paying a lot of money for it, in these days, a lot of money could be $10,000, $5,000. If I'm paying $5,000 for a horse that I don't know, I'm probably gonna have a vet look at it. Like I said before, you've got to check them for those foot issues, navicular, ring bone, things like that. I'm going to want blood work on it. I'm going to want to know this is a healthy horse. A couple $100 for a vet is a small price to pay when you're talking about an investment you can't get back if there's a problem. Until next time, thanks for watching.